Let's talk to Mr. Ambrose Igboke, Chairman, Guild of Public Affairs Analysts, who joins us virtually from Enugu. Good morning to you, Mr. Igboke. Thank you for your time.
My name is Igboke. Good
That's
morning,
what I said. That's what I said. Maybe the transmission is what is not letting you hear me clearly. Good morning to you. Good morning to you.
Good morning
to you. Africa is receiving a lot of visitors from both sides of the divide, shall we say. Emmanuel Macron is in Cameroon, and he's going to Benin Republic and Guinea-Bissau. Sergei Lavrov was in Egypt. He's going to Congo. Is there any reason why this is happening at this time? Because Africa seemed to have been ignored before now.
Well, there's a lot happening. Firstly, Europe is stagnated of energy needs because of Gazprom is cutting down because of Russia. You know, Europe energy needs is much dependent on Russia gas supply, and also some then their wheat and grain supply is dependent on Ukraine. So Europe is in a tight corner. So Europe has come to Africa to exploit Africa to get its energy needs. Remember that Germany in last month restarted its abandoned coal energy plants. So where did they get the coal from? They are coming to Africa. Now, where do they get grains from to augment what is left before Ukraine starts exporting? Africa. Russia doesn't want to be left behind. Russia is very happy with Africa because Africa has taken a position of a non-aligned position in this Ukraine-Russian war. It didn't support Russia. It didn't support NATO. It did not condemn the war. It's just playing a non-aligned position. And that Russia is grateful for. African countries did not join NATO in blockading or giving sanctions to Russia. So basically, it's business as usual with Russia and the African countries. And so they are also coming to see how they can wrap up, how they can discuss energy needs, how they can even maybe try to upturn the American hold in the oil market from Africa. Remember that Russia is already selling its own oil exports with rubles. And I think they will want to also clip the wing of the US dollars in the African continental market, especially when it concerns export. So a lot is going on now. But my worry is this. Europe knows what it wants from Africa. Russia knows what it wants. United States of America knows what it wants. Everybody is coming to steal or pilfer or exploit or rape Africa. The problem now is, do African leaders know what they want? Now, I expect an emergency special summit of the heads of state of African Union to have come together as an emergency, have a meeting, and take a position on some of the issues that are arising from this Ukraine-Russian war. This cutting of Europe and other Western powers is not it's not because it was to benefit Africa. It's because they need the help of Africa. So Africa is an advantageous position now to make some demands, to cancel some debt, make some diplomatic demands, and this is a time to dig in terms of diplomatic negotiations, and in terms of trade tariff, and in terms of many other things that Africans have been disadvantaged from before. Now is the time for Africans to wake up and do that. But they are not. The African continent is not doing it. ECOWAS is not doing it. AU is not doing it. So what is doing it? Perhaps it's time for ACTA to also look at what are the various businesses, apart from the country, can take a unique position in terms of economic trade. It's all about the economy, and Africa should key in to see how they can extract a lot of commitments from Europe and America now.
It does, as you say that, of course, what comes to mind is that if we bring it a bit closer home, both the foreign minister of Russia, Lavrov, Sergei Lavrov, and the French president are on the African continent, as we've already reported. But both of them are not coming. Neither of them is coming to Nigeria on this current trips. And we both know that Russia is a big client of Nigeria's in terms of wheat exports, grain exports, amongst other things. And it does appear that part of the problem why what you say may not happen in the long run, it has always been this age-long dichotomy between the Anglophone and the Francophone parts of Africa, which its former colonial powers continue to foster. So you find that the French president is going to Cameroon, one of its former colonies. It's going to Benin Republic, which is another former colony, and then it's going to Guinea-Bissau. And Sergei Lavrov has also chosen countries who are big client states of Russia. So again, it doesn't seem as if Nigeria is in the mix here, and we therefore cannot do the thing that you are saying that we ought to be doing, or that the African leaders ought to be doing.
Well, first of all, Nigeria's foreign policy is currently very, very weak. You know, when we cast our mind back to the 1970s, after the Nigerian-Biafran War, where, you know, in the mid-70s, where, you know, ECOWAS was formed in 1975, and then we had, when the Murtala Obasanjo regime came on board in 1975, July 29, 1975, there was a purposeful effort to align with the Soviet bloc that time. We call it the East Bloc, where Nigeria, you know, went against the Western Bloc, went against Britain that was supporting apartheid in South Africa, in the southern part of Africa, in Rhodesia, in South Africa itself, and some other African countries, you know, even in Namibia and some other countries. Now, Obasanjo Murtala Mohammed government ensured that they aligned with the Soviet Union that time. That was a very strong policy statement. They went against Britain. They went against America. They fought appetite to a standstill. They even went as far as, you know, buying arms, Russian arms for guerrilla fighters that were fighting apartheid then. That is how someone like the late Robert Mugabe came to power, Joseph Nkrumah, and all those people those times. You know, Nigeria was at the forefront of, you know, rallying points, both militarily, policy statements, and international diplomacy to ensure that apartheid was stopped in Africa. So Nigeria was bold there. And remember that you could see the remnants of that relationship with the Soviet Union. The Delta Steel Company, Onwe Alaja, the pioneer steel plant in Nigeria, it was built by the Russians mostly. Then Ajokuta steel plant also. And then we could see the Russian, like for example, the National Theatre in Igboke, I think was also built by the Russians. We could see those, you know, legacies of that relationship with the Soviet bloc still existing in Nigeria today. And so also Nigeria took strong state positions when he also in the 80s and then. But when Obasanjo came back in 1999, he took strong positions, but this time around favoring the West, but was able to write off the debt, the long debt of Nigeria from both the Paris Club and some other international borrowers. But when after Obasanjo left, we have not really had strong policies. We have not had strong foreign relations. And that is what is affecting us. Because by now, we're supposed to have taken a position. Because basically, by now, we don't have anything to negotiate upon. I mean, what are we negotiating with? We are an importing nation. Where, we are having security issues. Our FDI is poor. Our GDP is not to be taken seriously. Our naira value is down the hill. We don't even have a functional economy. We don't even have you know, a functional health system. So where are we really going to negotiate from? But despite these abysmal pictures we have something going for us. We have the capital, human capital resource. And that is one thing about Nigeria. Nigeria's population is filled with human capital resource, people that can do well anywhere. And any country, the greatest asset it has is the human beings. So this is the time to harness what do we want to negotiate with. We have to look for something to negotiate with this one, to tell them that, look, come, let us do business. But, you know, the index of all foreign economics suggests that Nigeria is not a good place to do business for now. Therefore, they are avoiding Nigeria like a plague because we have not put our house together. We have not put our acts together. We have not been able to really tell people for FDI, foreign direct investment, to come and say, okay, we are comfortable investing in Nigeria. So when these presidents go around, they go around to negotiate for their businesses. They go around to negotiate for businessmen in their countries. They don't just go to shake hands. Where they go negotiate deals so that businesses in their country can come invest in those countries, and then they can pay taxes back home. That is what they go around. So they're also there for investment drive and see how they can exploit the raw materials in those countries, see how they can dump their goods in those countries, and see how they can have economic, political, and military advantages over those countries. That is why those presidents are going there.
Indeed, again, we seem to be lagging behind in all of this, as you just pointed out. What would be our bargaining position? What would be the bargaining position of the African continent? Mr. Ambrose Igboke, thank you so much for your time this morning on the program. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Ladi. You got the name right.
Indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.